Days Gardening and Prepping. My name is Teresa. I would like to welcome you outside down to the cold frame where it is time to transplant out the jungle of tomatoes. They have jumped and went crazy. I have been trying to get out here, but since the rain hasn't let up until now, I'm doing it. So, with that being said, let's get some tomatoes transplanted. Now, for those who thought I was going to try to grow all this in this cold frame, yeah, no, it don't happen like that, y'all. This is my seed starting place. Now, I'm going to start with the San Marzanos and scoop some of these babies up. And be very gentle with them, because you don't want to snap any of those stems. And I see I still have more seeds coming up. That's okay. I will plant them. Okay, I have my cup here. I'm going to put my hole in it. They're already good and moistened. And I'm going to put that little tomato deeper than it was in the cup, or planted in the box, because as deep as you get them, you will get roots all the way up that stem. Oh, there we have one. And I'm fighting the fire ants over here on the other side, which are trying to take over my herbs. So I'm getting the tomatoes and the peppers out as soon as I can. Now, when transplanting them, you want to be very careful. I don't like to use the stem. I'm not going to use it on that one, because I got to make the hole bigger. But my rule of thumb is grab it by the seedling leaves. That won't hurt your tomato at all. And sometimes they have to be encouraged to go down. And this will buy me a little bit of more time to get them into the garden. And I'm going to only work on one row of tomatoes at a time, so I can keep them separated and know what I'm going to be planting. This soil is already very moist thanks to monsoon season. And I always use my handy dandy chopstick. And you want to make sure that you get that soil all around that stem real good. But be careful not to break your stem. Alright, I'm going to continue on, and when I'm done with this row, I'll bring you back. See you after a while. I have 25 San Marzano tomatoes transplanted. Now I'm going on to the red pear. The San Marzano, of course, is a canning tomato sauce maker. You can eat them fresh in salad, same way with the red pear, but they're meaty canning tomatoes for me to can up tomatoes, as well as tomato sauce and spaghetti sauce, y'all. So, like I said, now, what I didn't get to tell you, and I'll show you here in a minute. These red plums are coming out all over the place. And I'm using a fork. And they're coming loose. Come on, babies. Alright. You grab them by the seedling leaves. These on top are the true leaves. These are the seedling leaves that come out when they first germinate. Now, I didn't bring my little scissors, but once they're transplanted into the pot, I cut the seedling leaves off because that gives the plant more, it'll focus on the leaves of the true tomato leaves, and they will grow better. Now, the way I'll show you how I line them up in each of the trays, in the bulb trays. Lord, I'm just hoping I made up enough cups for all these tomatoes. Alright, I'll bring you back when I am done with the big, the red pear tomatoes. Alright, starting now on my black plum. My red plum, I ended up transplanting 37 tomato seedlings. I'm telling y'all, the Italian seed place that I shop from, their seed, I haven't seen any left behind seeds. They all germinated, y'all. They all germinated. And I'm telling you, they give you so many seeds per pack. It's amazing. Alright, black plum is the next ones I'm going to do. And it might be the last ones I get to do because, yeah, apparently I had way more tomatoes than I thought, but that's fine. Black plum, I'm growing those because I want a bunch of sun-dried tomatoes. And the black plum is really good for that. Those didn't even come up. It's a different tomato, my speckled Roman, but those seeds were fairly old. Now, another thing I didn't get to say yet was be very careful. You want to handle your tomatoes by the seedling leaves. Once in a blue moon, you might have to handle them by the stem. But you have to be careful because if you pinch or weaken that stem, it's going to kill your seedling. And you want to not do that. You want to make sure that there's no air pocket. And like I said, later on, I'm going to come back and snip those seedling leaves off. They'll eventually end up dying, but I'd rather go in and just take them off. But you want to make sure that there's no air pockets, and make sure that your soil that you're transplanting into is already moist as can be. And that way that cuts back also on transplant shock. I'm just going to make my big hole here. I tap and fill the bottom and put just a little soil on it. But I want to put these seedlings the stems as deep as I can. Just don't worry. They're going to grow roots all up along that stem. And like I said, chopstick. They're wonderful for many things. Eating sushi, stir fries, debubbling your canning jars, and planting seedlings, planting seeds. Yep. Now, if they're wooden and you use them for your gardening, you got to keep using them for the garden. Yes, I can. As once you get the hang of it and you know what you're doing, you can just barely touch the stem to guide it down in. I don't do it very often, but you can tell where the stem has hardened some and where it's still soft and tender. I absolutely love doing this. But yeah, y'all killed me thinking I was going to grow all these plants in this poor little cold frame. No, no, no. Ain't enough room. And tomorrow I've got to mix up a whole lot more soil because some of my bell peppers are ready to transplant out. I know my poor eggplant is. My jalapenos. I got a bunch of Tabascos. Bunch of my kimchi peppers, which I'm happy to see. And I got some 7 pots up. The rest of the hot peppers are not up yet. And I have my purple beauties up, my Zulu, my Lord, what is that? Oh, that's the Italian bell pepper from the Italian seed place, Quadret something something. Uh, my YOLO Wonder and my California Wonder ones. Those bell peppers are all up. This seed frame, this cold frame, is doing very well as a seed nursery. Some of my seeds were old. I still have seeds coming up. I still have paprika peppers coming up. So some of them, it's still been a little cool for them. Now over here, I got to get to fighting these fire ants because I'm not giving up my herbs to them. Go on, mosquito. Alright, I'm just going to keep on planning and I'll let you know. So far, I got quite a few tomatoes going. Gonna be canning up a storm, y'all. Alright, see you back here after a while. Well, I was blessed to plant 20 or transplant 23 of the black plum. That's going to give me a lot of sun-dried tomatoes, y'all. Now, you can also can them as well. They are a canning tomato. Since I am almost out of cups, I'm going to do Juliet next. These are looking a little rough because they've been hiding fire ants. Lord, I'm so tired of fire ants. I got a lot, of Paul Robeson. This is the first year Mr. John sent me these seeds that I've had. I've got to look back, see where these seeds came from. Of course, I'll save my own this year, but these were the perfect germinating seeds. I think every single seed germinated. I have had trouble with Paul Robeson for many years. Uh-oh, I got two cherry tomatoes there. The dancing with Smurfs. I've got about a handful of black brandywine, and the Cherokee purples are looking rough, but these Juliets are going to be the last that I can plant today. I have got to mix up a whole bunch more soil to in, transplant the seedlings in, get cups ready to go. Because, yeah, baby, I'm going to have bell peppers, and I've got eggplants, and I got jalapenos. And yep, I'll bring you back for the pepper transplanting video. I'm gonna give them just a little bit more time. So, and I'll bring you back for tomato transplanting number 2, maybe. I gotta get them done, but this should be enough video to show you how to do it. One last time, we're gonna take the cup. Now, get off there, baby girl. Don't worry about them falling through the glass. Now, these are 9-ounce cups. I have 2 drain holes burnt into the bottom of them. Let me move the camera here. And I go down to the bottom. I fill the bottom. I pack a little soil because I don't want them to be sitting on the bottom. Take your transplant by the seedling leaf. By seedling leaf, that means the first leaves that you see when they germinate. And you make sure that you get that air pocket full of soil. And there's the first one. And I'm going to keep going. And I'll bring you back when I'm done and show you all the tomatoes and have a full count of how many of the Juliets and how many total of all the tomatoes I've transplanted so far. Man, the spot looks really naked with these tomatoes gone, but they're going to be even prettier once they're in the garden. All right, I'll see you back here in a little bit. Okay, I got 102 tomatoes transplanted. Now, there's no guarantee that a bunch of them will make it, but knowing my luck, they'll all make it. But yep, I ended up losing a black plum because the tripod fell over and just whacked it in half. So I ended up planting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Juliet tomatoes, which are a small pear tomato, like a cherry pear. I had 2 Dancing with Smurfs cherry tomatoes come up. They're beautiful. I hope they make it. And so far I have transplanted 2 very small Cherokee purples. I can't do any more today because the compost soil needs to dry out before I can sift it. And yep, now if y'all want me to bring you back for round 2 of transplanting the rest of the tomatoes, let me know in the description box below. But yep, total of 102 tomato plants. Woohoo! And more to go. Everyone continue to garden. Organic garden is Organic gardening is the best for your health and for your land and your property. Everyone, continue to grow as much as you can. You just don't realize unless you do a lot of canning just how many tomatoes it takes to make a big batch of tomato sauce, a big batch of spaghetti sauce. Yeah, salsa. It takes a whole lot of tomatoes, y'all. And of course, the bigger ones are still in the cold frame. You gotta sacrifice uh, quite a bit for, fried green tomatoes. But yep, I'm gonna put these in fairly shade. They'll get a couple of hours of cool morning sun. And once they get acclimated to being transplanted, I can roll these babies out and let them get the sun they need. And once they get big enough and I get the garden done, then they will go into the garden. And of course, I'll bring y'all along for that one. Everyone, take care. Continue to stock up foods for your pantry that will nourish and sustain you, medicinals that will heal you, protection of all kinds, and above all else, the bare essentials to survive on. Plant those seeds, grow your food, y'all. Take care, stay safe and sound. I look forward to seeing you in my next video, and may you each be blessed. Hoot, hoot. Mwah. Love y'all. I'll see you soon. Y'all take care.